from around the world, it's your boy Jeremy Alexander Newsome with reallifetrading.com. I hope and trust you are doing sincerely splendid. We got the SPY up on the day, and a very interesting day to say the least. It is in fact another inside day candle with yet another late afternoon sell-off. Things were looking rosy and peachy and clean about an hour and a half ago, and then for the fifth day in a row or something, you got a late afternoon sell-off with what appears to be a pretty obvious head and shoulders pattern. A lot of people went bullish, I'm sure, right here, and that's just where it just kind of started rolling over right as it traded into, again, some of these moving averages, the 10 almost hitting the 20. So this was the two trades I placed earlier today. I took one trade for a loss and one trade for a win, so I was 50-50 on the day. So this was the bearish trade that I got right, I just timed it wrong. I do think that Deere & Company will continue lower. We probably hit the 200 simple moving average more than likely tomorrow, and that's going to be a no-go for me. Had just a nice bearish gap down right here, and I feel like on the 5th it's just trapping everybody with the gap up, and then again on Friday you got that crazy, really bearish gap down. So I mentioned that if we had ever at some point closed below the low of this candle on the 5th of April, in fact, let me just roll the tape so you guys know what I'm talking about. The only way I would be interested in DE bearish, we'll come back to this one. If we can close below here, below 148.55, I feel like the bears will be trying to take over, because that really was a pretty solid bearish gap the other day. So I'm going to keep D in my list. Right now we're just chopping sideways. So that was my analysis from Thursday, right? So we did close below that on Friday, and we did so with a really nice bearish gap and go. And so today I was like, well, let me just keep it on my radar to see if it does in fact break lower. Here's the 5-minute chart, and again, I still have my exact entry up and posted. So when it broke down, I was expecting it to, nice white candle in the 5-minute chart. So it broke down, and I was expecting it to do this and that, and just kind of continue lower. Pretty much what we ended up doing later today. We just had a much bigger S-curve on DE. So nice rollover. I didn't get it. I didn't time it correctly. Had I shorted in the first 5 minutes with an entry there with a limit sell like that, based on that low of that candle, that would have worked out just fine. Now the trade that I did make good on was the SPY. So on that same thread, again, this is in our Slack channel for anyone who is a part of the real life trading rooms, right here at 8:57 a.m. Central. This was the trade that I posted on SPY, 261.69 limit buy with a stop at 260.71. I thought about lowering that stop to make it just an even dollar of risk, but for some reason didn't do the math quick enough. Just didn't worry about it. So anyway, we had a bullish gap and go, and this was some pretty easy day trade analysis. So you'll notice pretty much the tweezer top right here, right? They having 1 penny from the exact same. And I'm sure some traders were thinking that we were going to sell off and break that low like that. So you'll notice there's a little bit of a lower shadow right there. That lower shadow was certainly a bear trap, because I'm sure some bears hopped on there expecting it to go lower, and it did not. So when it broke higher, I simply said, okay, well, this is an old resistance, and I'm just going to make it an S-curve, right? S-curve, buy the dip. Buy low, sell high. Now, did I know that trade was going to work? No. All I did was just follow my analysis, look at the candles, looked at the gap. It was a bullish gap, and just bought at old resistance, new support. That's it, a blind buy. Did not know if that trade was going to work, but it did. So that one actually hit 2 Rs. So I got 1 R for the day, sitting at 4.2 Rs for the month of April thus far, and things are looking pretty nice. So we'll see what the SPY ends up doing for the rest of the month, but it's very choppy. Nice inside day candle. Expect the volatility to continue, and I do hope a lot of you are just day trading this market right now and having an absolute blast doing so. Didn't have tons of requests for today, so let me just go ahead and knock out the ones that I did have. Here's Alibaba, ticker symbol BABA, and BABA sitting at the 50 EMA on a weekly time frame. That 50 EMA is actually 165.64. We haven't actually hit it yet, but I am certainly, and I would consider keeping an eye on BABA down here to buy the dip. Figure out as cheap as you could possibly buy it and try to buy it there. This is a pretty nice gap actually on BABA right here. Bullish gap and go this morning. So even though today was a little bit of a bearish candle, I feel like that was maybe to trap some overzealous bears. I still think tomorrow and Wednesday we continue higher in the broader markets and potentially on BABA itself. But just looking at it and trying to figure out what it's going to do, I mean, fact of the matter is, it's a nice little new white soldier candle. It had a decent gap. Again, coming back to the hourly, it almost looks like a little bit of a double bottom trying to form. So this was a good support down here, right? Whoever bought down here and made money, they did it a second time. So if the market continues higher tomorrow and we get some good gaps and some continuation a little bit tomorrow, then I think we can slightly trust some of that shorter term bullish movement. And if we don't, if we continue bearish tomorrow, which is entirely possible, if we close, and this is pretty much just across the board, if we close below Wednesday's low on BABA and just the market in general, we will continue a little bit lower. Here's Shopify, ticker symbol SHOP. Shopify trading pre-sideways, had a decent gap today. This stock, again, has not hit its 200 simple moving average in a while. It's gotten very close back here on the 5th of December and back here just 4 to 5 days ago. A little bit of a bullish gap, a decent upper shadow on Shopify, and we're just kind of battling the 100. So this is a nice pullback. Of that we can be certain. Here's the weekly time frame, and the weekly, to me, I viewed this as kind of some type of wave 3, some kind of wave 4, and some kind of wave 5. So in this, we really are getting like an A, B, C corrective cycle. Personally, I think, and I would like Shopify to get down to like the 107 level. I think that'd be a little bit more of a buying opportunity on SHOP. That's just my opinion though. I like the retest. Old resistance right here, new support. So if at any point in time we close above the high of today with that nice little upper shadow, I would say that Shopify does remain bullish to neutral. Here's Apple. So I had Pat Kaufman and a few other traders look at and want my advice and thoughts, opinions, and analysis on Apple. So Apple traded sideways. At one point was up 2.5%. Pretty decent upper shadow right now. And I'm excited about tomorrow because looking at these upper shadows across the market, looking at another bullish gap that again is looking like it's going to get faded with a bearish fade. I'm expecting if we get some bearish gap downs tomorrow, or if we get another gap up tomorrow that fades down and we take out the low of today and specifically the low of Friday, I could easily see Apple slowly continuing a little bit lower. So for those who have an Apple position, longer term, the covered calls up here, you're not getting a lot of premium, unfortunately, but I personally don't think that Apple's going to have a big earnings gap. Earnings is around the corner in early May, right around my 30th birthday. And, if you got a longer term position, I'd say probably just April week 4, which is the 27th of April. A 180 call sale brings in about 73 cents. That's probably the one that I would target. Again, 180, April 27th. And then if and when that expires worthless, which it more than likely will, consider some type of 190 May covered call or call sale against a longer term option. 190 for May right now brings in 70 cents, but closer to earnings, it could bring in a little bit more. And again, 190 is pretty decently far away. Let's look at one more stock, but before I do, have a really exciting announcement that I want to make sure all of you are aware of. I haven't sent out any links for this yet, but that will be upcoming pretty soon. Having a super exciting program that is finally being delivered, and I am going to be rocking out a back trading marathon that starts this Saturday. That's right, this Saturday, April 14th. Now, keep in mind, like a marathon, this is for charity and it is a paid event. So I will be donating all of the proceeds to a local charity here in Nashville, Tennessee. And all that information is on this particular page. go to reallifetrading.com, click on this banner, and you will be brought to the Real Life Trading Back Trading Marathon. My goal is to trade 7 hours straight, right? Like a mental marathon, but do it with other traders who are there, and we're gonna be doing all types of back trading. I'm sure at this point you all know what back trading is, right? That's where I go back in time and I trade candle by candle, day by day, looking at the market, analyzing candlesticks and analyzing sentiment. This is not for a trader who is just dilly-dallying in the market. This is gonna be for serious traders. I mean, 7 hours is an intense session, right? So think about it just like a marathon. You're not gonna run a marathon if you have no need to run, if you don't like running, if you're not excited about running, if you've never run a marathon before, if you've never back traded before, 7 hours is gonna feel like an eternity. This is gonna be some mental gymnastics for certain, but it is going to be revolutionary for your trading. Of that I can assure you. I'm gonna do back trading on the day trading level, like the 5-minute chart. We're gonna do back trading with credit spreads, going back in time to determine how we're going to unravel a particular trade. We're going to be discussing longer term trades, shorter term trades, just a lot of back trading, a lot of interactive discussions, and it's all gonna be recorded. So if you can't make it live, you'll get the opportunity to do it again in the future. Now, what stock market company takes a program and donates every single purchase, all of it, to a charity? Real Life Trading does that, and we just happen to do that because we're better than everyone else. So feel free to join that, sign up, get in. It's going to be incredible. I'll be doing it this Saturday, 7 hours. I'm already prepping, I'm already preparing. I've been doing some back trading, and I know that sounds like a long time, but that's how I got in tip-top stock market analysis shape, as I did 7 hours a day for 7 months, every single day. So I hope you enjoy it. Again, all proceeds going to the cookery here in Nashville, Tennessee, and it's going to be supporting a really good cause. Let's go look at two more trades. Here is Google, G-O-O-G-L, closing at 10.20. Nice, pretty giant upper shadow on Google today. And again, we're just forming a pretty decent pennant pattern of some kind. Nice little high wave. Had a good buddy of mine, Andy Richardson, is in some calls on Google and asked me right about here, should he lock in those profits? And my answer was yes, you should. And I'm glad you did that, Andy. So right now we're just chopping around, trading sideways. This could break in either direction, down or up, but earnings season's right around the corner. I'm actually excited about that because as we continue to consolidate, I think there's a great opportunity that on earnings, a lot of these stocks could gap up in either bullish or bearish fashion. And last but not least is Dropbox. This is an official swing trade that we've been keeping an eye on, watching to see if Dropbox is actually going to break out bullish. I didn't think it was, but I want to prepare just in case. Looks like we're about to roll over at some point and kind of drift on down. But if we do get a nice bullish day, another bullish day tomorrow, and we break out of here, I'm certainly keeping an eye on Dropbox to go bullish. Secondly, keep your eyes out for a Dropbox article. The new heroine of trading, Miss Ashley Allen, who just created and crafted a fantastic IPO Spotify article. We'll be working on another one here on Dropbox. Also, new video on how to trade fades in real life. Make sure to check that out. It's entirely free. Folks from around the world, thanks so much for tuning in for your Monday real life stock review. Keep in mind, the Wealth 365 Summit is here. It is happening and it did launch today. There's a lot of great content, some fantastic speakers. It's going all week long. This is entirely free. A lot of my mentors and thought leaders in the industry will be here, and I'll be presenting on 13th of Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for about an hour. And guess what I'm doing? Back trading. So if you want to figure out what the back trading webinar will be like, you can watch any of my other previous ones, or you can watch this one. Granted, it's only an hour long, but get ready for some growth and development. This is going to be a sensational occurrence. You are fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you later, and until next time, live life, and trade it. Bye.